So Friday, I drove to work. I usually have a couple hours at the start of work where I'm there by myself, and I get a bunch of stuff done. And I had a meeting that morning. Anyway, I was puttering around doing my normal stuff, and I was using these same headphones. I used the bathrooms, listened to stuff. I think I watched some stuff on YouTube. Don't remember exactly what I was doing. But I went back, sat down at my desk, took my headphone out, put it in its little case. These are Raycon, I think they're Impact, whatever. Put them in this case and set them down on my desk. At least I thought I did. And went about my work. I had my meeting at 9 a.m. So I went in to this meeting. We talked about what we needed to talk about, and I came out. I sat down, did some work, had to jump up, help someone move a grill from warehouse to the main building because we were going to be grilling some food for the 4th. Just went about my day. A little bit later, I was like, I think I was going to go use the bathroom again. Anyway, I went to reach down into my pocket to grab my headphones out because that's usually where I keep them. Is in my pocket in my pants, and they weren't there. So I was like, oh, they're just on my desk. So I went, not on my desk. I looked everywhere for them, could not find them to save my life. So I have access to all the cameras at the office, and so I pulled up the camera that kind of looks at my desk. And I was like, okay, maybe the camera caught me setting them down somewhere that is different from where I normally do, and that's where they'll be. And I pulled up the camera, I was watching them, and while I was in this meeting, this one guy came into the office, walked back to the back area, then came back out kind of by my office, and he was just like hanging out around my office, around my desk, not my office. And he was looking at stuff on my desk, which normally it'd be like, whatever, I don't care. But I was like, did he take my headphones? Did this guy steal my headphones? Because he's sitting there, he was just, I don't know exactly what he was doing, but he was kind of loitering around my office, around my desk. And another person came out of the meeting room and was on the phone there pretty close to my desk. And then, the meeting ended right after that. So we all came out, and him and another guy left the office space to go out to the warehouse. And I was like, did he seriously take my headphones off of my desk and just steal them? Because nothing else was missing, everything else was there, except for my headphones. And I was like, I could have sworn I left them on my desk. So the day's progressing, and this guy he drives a route with one of the company vehicles, and so he left to do his route. And I was like, when he gets back, I'll just ask him if he has seen my little headphone case. And so I was like, okay, I'll just ask him, see if he's seen them. If not, I'll be like, well, I'll just check the cameras, see if he says anything. Because at this point, I'm halfway convinced that he took them, and I'm kind of angry about it. I'm feeling a little betrayed because I know this guy pretty well. Like we get along fine. So I'm like, seriously, he took my headphones. Why would he do that? That's a real big dirtbag thing to do. And the day progresses. He's not back. And it gets to the point where I'm ready to go home. I left work early that day. Early for me was still like almost 8 hours. But anyway, I left early. So I was like, whatever. I'll just talk to him on Monday when I see him. And so I go home, spend the weekend, and this is in the back of my head. most of the weekend, like, I can't believe this guy took my headphones. And I told my wife that they were missing, and then right after I noticed they were gone. And then as the weekend progressed, I'm like, I think someone stole them. And she's like, who? And I was like, I don't want to tell you, like, say any names, because I don't know for sure. I don't want to make a false accusation. So, but in the back of my head, I just had this feeling of like, this dirtbag. So today rolls around, I get in, do work, go help at one of the other locations with some stuff, and I'm just get back to the office, and I'm looking at my desk, and the way my desk is laid out is I have like my main desk with my computer on it, and then behind where I sit I have these two other desks with drawers in them that I can store a bunch of crap, because I have a lot of stuff that I tinker with and deal with at work. And I'm just kind of looking over the top of them. I'm like, okay, is it sitting in one of these? And I just put it in the wrong spot. And so I open up this drawer that I never have put my headphones in. Never, ever. And lo and behold, just sitting there on top is my headphone case. And I'm just like, are you kidding me? I went all weekend with this like frustration in the back of my head, when really it was on me. I don't remember doing it, but that's the only thing that makes sense, unless someone moved it there, but that's highly unlikely. So it's just, I went this whole weekend with this frustration in the back of my head for nothing. And so the moral of the story is, don't think the worst of people. Always give people the benefit of the doubt. You'll be a lot happier for it. And I'm just really glad I don't have to replace my headphones, because to replace them, to get the same pair, is almost $150, which is kind of ridiculous. But if you like this story, if you got anything out of it, feel free to like the video, comment, subscribe. You know what to do. But thanks for listening.